Coming up, a Sad Styles production. Get into it.
So Andrew, this week, I know you know this already, Pokemon Scarlet and Violet come out.
Right.
So I was thinking for this week's episode of the podcast, we could do a special Pokemon game.
Oh, that's exciting. Okay,
so I'm thinking one of the more iconic Pokemon games of all time. I'm sure you can follow me
well,
on
I
this
was
one.
always like a Pokemon Silver guy.
Okay,
so,
no, that's a great one.
Yeah.
A lot of people love Pokemon
Right.
Silver. No, this one's, I think, even like a little bit higher up than that.
Okay,
So
like Pokemon. So Gold's out. So why don't Pokemon Yellow?
No, okay. I should clarify.
Yeah.
Okay, biggest hint.
Right.
Probably the best, I want to say Pokemon, but it also may be handheld game of all time.
Okay.
All right. And you know how I feel about Pokemon Yellow.
You're not a yellow guy. So it must be Pokemon Red?
Nope. It's Pokemon Pinball on the Gameboy Colour this week on the Retrograde podcast.
What? And welcome to the Retrograde
Podcast where we remind you what you used to love and whether or not you still should.
I'm Andrew Bascom, and with me as always is the bad boy of podcasting, Mr. Bebop himself.
Mr. Mikey.
Mr. Mikey.
Aaron Worth.
Of course.
I've stopped trying to make new names when the name that I did have was so dang good.
Yeah. So you got a handful of those.
Yeah. Do you know how often I call my parents and I ask them why I wasn't named Mr. Mikey? Aaron Worth?
This has happened once?
I asked you how many times.
Yeah, so
and your guess is once.
This is over under 0.5.
Over under 0.5. Andrew, way over.
Way over. Really?
Yeah.
Does your dad even look up from like the iPad or whatever he's on?
He's gotten to the point now where he just kind of doesn't talk to me.
Yeah, that's probably
yeah. And we spend a lot of time. We play tennis together.
Yeah.
I see him in the office every now and again. He just kind of, it's one of those things where it's almost as though I'm feeling Bruce Willis-esque from Sixth Sense,
right?
Where it's like when he goes home to see his wife and she's like locked the doors on him or changed the locks, and he's like, "Why is she ignoring me?" And it turns out it's because he's dead.
Oh.
I think I'm dead.
You think you're dead?
To my dad.
Oh, that makes more sense. Yeah.
But you know what isn't dead? Andrew?
What isn't dead?
This franchise that we know and love called Pokemon.
Gengar.
Gengar is dead.
Is dead. Okay.
It actually did. Ghost type Pokemon, were they previously alive?
See that? Okay. This is great. We're starting off hot here. This is great. Well, there should have been a new class of still living Pokemon that kind of resemble like a portly, mean fellow who would have been Gengar, and then he dies and he becomes a ghost version of it.
Okay, and you know how some Pokemon need like a stone in order, like a Thunderstone or something to evolve?
Yes.
You know what you give this portly fellow to evolve? You have to shoot him in the head, and then he turns into Gengar.
I was going to say a trap in the middle of a highway where he's like, ooh, delightful. A pot roast.
So you're just dropping a pot roast in the middle of a highway.
And he's like, and he gets run over by a semi.
Now, in your imagination,
yes,
this
my
portly man,
imaginorium.
do you have a name for the portly man, or is it Portlymon? Is that his name?
Portlymon.
Like Hitmonchan?
Yeah, no, right.
Portlymon.
So, wait, okay, so it has to be both obvious and obscure at the same time. That's how they name Pokemon.
Or you could pull a seal and just be called Seal.
Yeah.
But spelled Seel.
Or Snake and Ekans, you know what I mean? Yeah, he could be like Taff or something like that.
Oh, right. I like that one. Yeah.
I was thinking like something like because he's like fun. You know what I mean?
Okay.
But he's mean, right?
Oh.
But he's like a bon vivant. Like he enjoys his life. And
so you're going to call him Bon Vivant?
Bon vivant?
That's a good name.
That's a good name. Bon vivant.
And for our non-French listeners?
That means good times.
Yeah.
No,
good living.
Good living.
Basically.
Yeah. But it's like a good time guy.
Yeah.
A good time boy.
Good time boy.
Rotten soldier, my sweet cheese.
I was going to say, a good time boy sounds like a hooker in the 40s.
Sure.
Like, gotta go down to the port and get me a good time boy.
Goes for a silver nickel these days.
Well, on November 18th, I'm going to go down to the port and get myself a good time game in the form of Pokemon Scarlet and Violet.
Okay.
They come out on November 18th. That's just depending on when you're listening to this, as of recording and as of the release of this episode, just in a few days. It feels like not that long ago that we were playing Pokemon Arceus, or as some people say, Arceus, and other people. Here's the problem with that. When you say one, other people get mad at you, and you say the initial people get mad at you.
When we last played the most recent Pokemon game,
yes,
you fill in the blank from there. That feels like months ago.
It really does.
Yeah. So there's a new 2 games. Okay, the other one too, the pairings of games to be released at the same time.
Yeah.
So they've always followed this pattern. May I ponder a question here?
You may.
Pourquoi?
Why have they always had?
Yeah.
Well, I think twofold. A, it's fun to have a friend who's also getting the game and they get the other version of the game where you have the separate, the 6 or 7 Pokemon that you don't have access to in your version.
Can I guess number 2? Money.
That's exactly it, Andrew.
Okay.
Because I guarantee you it doesn't cost them that much more to develop the quote unquote 2 games.
No.
But I guarantee you that every so often, what percentage of people who play these games do you think buy both versions?
30%.
That's too high.
Oh, really?
30%.
You think it's less than that?
Yeah, I think legitimately, I would say closer to 5 or 10%, and that's probably high.
I was just thinking how many Pokemaniacs there are out there.
There are a lot of Pokemaniacs hiding in the tall grass.
I like to think that that the games are, at what is it called again? Not Pokemania. What's the studio that makes it again?
Game Freak.
Game Freak. Thank you very much. Pokemania. That's what I'm thinking about it.
Yeah.
Game Freak, it's 2 brothers that are game designers, right? And they're like, hey guys, it's time for another Pokemon game. They're like, great. And they run into 2 different buildings and they're like, teams, we got to do this. And then they, like a couple months later, they've worked their employees 22 hours a day and they come out with a game and they go, this is the game I've created. And they look at the other one, they go, oh my God.
Oh, it's the same.
We did it again. How many Pokemon did you have? I had these Pokemon. We're 10 off. Wow. So close. Mom said this was going to happen.
They just have that weird twin energy.
Yeah.
Oh my God. That's a great idea.
Yeah.
If you were someone.
I am.
Up for debate.
Oh, wow.
You're not quite someone.
I'm really
You're a
Bruce
co-host
Willis
of a
and your
video
dad.
game podcast. Yeah, there you go.
I'm not really anybody.
If you were in the Poke universe.
Oh.
The Pokeverse.
Yep.
The PCU, the Pokemon Cinematic Universe. You know how you have like Pokemaniac, you've got Magician,
Bugcatcher,
Fisherman, Bugcatcher.
Yeah.
What would your
that is a great question.
What would your thing be?
Local drunk.
Local drunk.
Local drunk. And like, here we go. It's Snorlax.
And it's like, no, you have to throw a Pokemon. You're just past it.
Yeah, I'm drinking with the Snorlax. I'm like, this guy's good. He's my good time boy. Stop saying that. Okay, seriously, one more time. Are you having sex with that Pokemon? You have to answer that. I'm a cop.
Wait, you have to answer that. I'm a cop.
Yeah.
Usually it's someone has to answer something if they're a cop.
Oh, yeah. But if you throw it back at the cop going, are you a cop? You have to answer that.
That's it.
That's the other way around.
Yeah. No, that's the only way around.
No, well, in this thing, I'm a local drunk drinking with a Snorlax.
And a cop comes up.
A bug catcher is coming up and going, hey, are you guys having sex with each other? You have to answer me. I'm a cop. I made a local sting for 6 months where I dressed as a bug catcher.
Yeah.
Why otherwise would I have 6 Weedles? That's like, this is a bad strategy.
Honestly, if you're running around there with 6 Weedles, that's the creepiest thing I've ever seen.
Yeah. Stop calling them a harem of Weedles. Stop. That's weird. You're freaking everybody out.
We will get to video games in a second. But
we are kind of talking about video games.
Yeah, technically we are. We are. What is the most Pokemon-like animal that exists in the modern world?
Okay, I'll think of that question, but you got to answer. Who would you be? What would your persona be in the Poke universe?
Oh, I would be probably something like clingy man or like needy man. I'd just be like I choose you, Pikachu. What do you think of my Pikachu? Was that the right choice? I would just be constantly like asking for affirmation or something like that. Yeah, your animals, animals, Jesus Christ. Your Pokemon are just balls of anxiety. They're just like, I don't know if I'm doing very well. It's like, I don't know either. You're doing fine though, I think. Or what would the name of a Pokemon trainer be how about this one? I would be Dog Whistler and I would just have Jinx and Mr. Mime. I'd be like potentially racist.
Yes. What's with that guy with the weirdest ones? I like them because of it. I think they're saying something that needs to be said more often. And everyone's like, no, okay, all right. I don't need to hear what that is. Thank you very much. Right. Yeah. You know what? I also think that's like, do you know Remember from Sailor Moon Tuxedo Mask?
Oh yeah, Andrew, of course I do.
Of course.
Yeah.
You're really kind of
masturbated before.
You really are a Tuxedo Mask of my life. Just because he always shows up in a tux and you're always like, what the fuck is this guy doing?
Okay,
and,
wait a second.
Yeah.
I'll accept half of that.
You don't have to accept anything. I could care less about your opinion on this. And so you're in the tall grass. You're like, I'm going to find a Rattata. And there's a guy in a tuxedo. And you're like, what the fuck is this guy doing over here? Are you okay? Did your car crash somewhere? And you're like, no, I chose like this today. You're like, oh, okay.
Just drenching sweat.
Yes. Do you like my Pikachu? Like, oh God, we got to get away from this guy. I'd rather hang out with the bug catcher.
Speaking of pocket monsters, you want to see? It's like, oh my God, Jesus Christ.
Is there a Rattata in your pocket, or are you happy to see me?
Okay, the most Pokemon-like animal that exists in the real world. Google is flipping out. She wants to answer that question. Yes. Though. I don't know if our listeners.
Wow, the Google Home started.
Yeah.
Okay, there is I'm going to move off of this quickly because I can't think of the animal's name, which is bad podcasting. But there's a bird with a big bill, and it has that big clappy. Yes, and it looks unlike it shouldn't be in this world.
Yes,
like it looks, whatever. I think the second one is a panda.
Panda.
Just the color scheme, they're goofy as all shit. Like they seem to have a personality, kind of like Pokemon do. Yeah. And I imagined if pandas could speak, they would say panda.
Yeah.
So there you go, panda.
I think also, I think an octopus is different enough from everything else that lives that could be one. Also, like, don't sleep on chameleons.
Right.
Just eyes that go looking all over the place. Yeah. Tongue that flicks out. They change colors.
They change color.
No thanks.
No, not for me.
Not for me.
No, never have been.
Okay, let's shift a little bit then onto the thing of video games, more strictly gaming related, because obviously we want to focus on Pokemon because we have the release of Scarlet and Violet coming out. We played Arceus recently, or what it seems to be recently. This is, I always fall into this trap with Pokemon games, and then I want to get to know your current relationship with Pokemon games, because I find myself like almost the definition, I'd say chasing the dragon, but it's more chasing the Dragonite of that also works.
Yeah, sorry. I didn't mean to punch you up.
Sorry. Chasing the Gyarados is punching up chasing the Dragonite.
Gyarados looks like a dragon.
Right. Dragonite is a dragon.
Too cartoony. Don't like it. Okay. It's like Pixar created a Pokemon.
See,
and also like I've never thought of him as dangerous. He's always like
no, too nice. Even though Dragonite is one of the more powerful Pokemon.
Yeah, I guess that's true. I'll believe when I see it.
I always find myself chasing the Dragonite, and thinking like, this is going to be the one that's going to get me back into Pokemon. But nothing ever has come close to feeling like what Red and Blue felt like to me.
The most recent Pokemon game we did. Yes. Which I'm not going to pronounce the name.
Yes.
Because I don't.
Why would you put yourself up for punishment that way?
Well, yeah, because we tried Arceus. We tried Arceus.
Yes.
I'm going to try Arceus. Something completely different. Arceus later. When we did that, it is up there in the top 5 most frustrated I've heard you ever while playing a game. You were not happy playing that game.
That was because I just wanted to start the fucking game. That was the worst initial hour of a video game I've played in a very long time. That tutorial did not want to end. But I'd say I probably put about 10 to 12 hours into that game.
Yeah.
Not as much as I expected to, but like it just got... Here's the thing that frustrates me to no end about Pokemon games. Game Freak has such a money-making machine on its hand, Game Freak and Nintendo,
right?
That they can do whatever they want. They can release the Pokemon Red and Blue with just an updated color scheme and like 3 new Pokemon, and it would sell probably like close to the same amount as Scarlet and Violet are going to sell. So when they make innovation in their franchise, like they claimed to have done in Arceus, I'm going to say Arceus because that's just what we're going to go with.
That's what we're going to go with.
Everyone like loses their mind. They're like, this is what we've been waiting for, an open world. I can see the Pokemon. I can catch them by throwing a ball, or I can battle with them. But also the open world that it creates feels so archaic, not archaic.
Oh, wow. Nicely done.
Thank you. Because it's still not modernized by the standard of modern video games.
Yeah.
The open world looks way worse than Breath of the Wild looked. The ways things would load into the world, it would just like textures would pop in. Pokemon, you could see them from across the map, but they'd be like, the frame rate would be shit. Climbing up little inclines of hills would completely slow your character down. Didn't give you like, why not, if you're gonna go for it, go all the way? And I feel like that's because they know they don't have to. And because of that, I just don't want to support them as a company. I just don't, especially after Arceus, when they were like, we're doing it, guys, we're giving you what you want. And then I played it and I'm like, you guys know, you're game developers. You know what works and what doesn't about an open world. You gave us the bare minimum and expected us to be ecstatic about it. I just no longer want to support that.
Well, they play by their own rules. It's not like you judge a Pokemon game next to FIFA and then, the new God of War. And you're like, these are all the same.
Sure.
You're like, no, Pokemon plays by its own standards.
Sure.
And the littlest improvements are like, whoa, very good. You know what I mean? GTA went from top down to open world. And but that was 20 years ago.
Yes,
so
that's it.
I'm totally with you.
I just want to stop applauding them for the minor changes that they made. Changes that should have been made 5-10 years ago.
Right.
We're now getting a portion of that now. And look, if you love Pokemon and you just want to play it no matter what because it's comfort food for you, amazing.
Yeah.
But
this was a good start to our Pokemon podcast.
Fuck Pokemon. Yeah. But it should give a baseline because I am, and I know you are, we are both big Pokemon fans.
Huge Pokemon fans.
And I just want more. I expect more. I want to be respected as a Pokemon fan. I don't want to be strung along knowing that no matter what, I'm liable to buy it.
Yeah,
they treat it it's funny you brought up FIFA because they kind of treat it like a sports franchise where they don't have to change that much. And they know people are going to come along for the additional who knows how many there are now, but yeah, I don't know. Yeah.
How many Pokemon? Okay, wait. So if they're introducing new Pokemon on every game, right? Started with 150.
Yes.
151 if you're in the know. Only if you're in the know, though. They never
if you're in the missing know.
Oh, the missing know. Oh, my God. Very good. Wow, what a ref. Solid ref, bro. I love your ref game. It's in control. So if they keep contributing more Pokemon to every game, and there's been, 10 games or something like that, how many Pokemon do you think are in the universe right now?
Okay, well.
Over under 1,000.
Okay, first of all. In the universe or that we've discovered in the universe?
Wow, that's a really hard. Yeah, that's wow. Because we're discovering new ones all the time.
All the time.
So that means they're out there.
The truth, just like the truth.
And I want to believe. So,
of ones that we've discovered,
I can't believe you're hammering on that. Yes, the ones that have been released in games.
I'm gonna guess there's about 750 to 800.
750 to 800. I'll say
you give us a guess. I'll look this up.
I'll say 900.
It's over 9,000.
Yeah,
okay,
how many Pokemon are there that we know about?
925.
Whoa!
Well done.
Okay, thank you very much.
That's crazy. That's too many. That's
the problem though, is that I love Pokemon and Red and Blue and Yellow, and Silver and Gold. Silver and Gold. I would go back and play all the time.
Yes.
I really would. I would if
were Silver and Gold, were those your that was your I mean, look, the most iconic I think for most people are red and blue, or yellow.
Yeah.
But as far as the one that you enjoyed the most, would you say Silver and Gold?
I think so.
Yeah.
I think so. Even though I remember Red and Blue and Yellow much, much more.
Yeah, same with me. That was by far the peak for me. I tried to get back into it, but what it comes down to in my mind, and we'll get to Pokemon Pinball in a little bit, which only had the original 151 Pokemon.
Thank God. That's my right? Pokemon.
But that's the thing is every other game I wasn't watching the cartoon anymore. I didn't care as much about the new Pokemon. And I'm not going to be the person, because we've done this before.
We've done this.
Where we say the new ones are so unoriginal and blah, blah, blah. Meanwhile, there's a magnet.
Yeah, there's a magnet.
there's a ball.
There's a bunch of mud. Yeah, it is amazing that those 151, you're whoa, those are art. That's
Chef's
creative genius right there.
Yes.
And then 152 comes out and I'm like, what the fuck is it? It's a stick? Get the hell out of here.
Get out of here.
Yeah, that one's a beaver, even though we love Bidoof and we're huge Bidoof stands.
Bidoof is an honorary member of the 151.
Absolutely. Bidoof is so close to my heart. It's
you know
crazy.
what? Seal, take a hike.
Yeah.
Go get fucked by a rose.
Seal? You mean Dugong?
No, Seal and Dugong. Yeah.
Seal was one of them. Yeah, you're right.
SEEL.
Yeah.
So I'll say it again.
Yeah,
so you can catch it this time.
Yeah, right.
Seal, take a hike. Go get fucked by a rose.
Yeah, not kissed by a rose.
Thanks, Andrew.
Yeah, no problem.
Bidoof's joining the party.
Yeah, Bidoof's in. Bidoof's in. Which Pokemon would you kick out? Seriously.
Of the original 151?
Yeah, 151. You're one's gotta go.
Ooh, good question. Pikachu?
Mm-hmm. Wow, bold stance. Wow. Really going out swinging. Jesus, the mascot for the whole thing.
No. Oh, man, if one's gotta go.
One's gotta go.
That's a good question. You know what?
Wow, you're really taking this seriously, eh?
I feel like I should have a better answer for this, but you know what? I feel like one of the bug types can go.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, it's not that original.
No.
I like Weedle, though.
Yeah.
And I love Metapod.
Oh, okay. So wait a second. Okay, yeah.
Andrew, this is tough.
This is tough.
What do we do about this?
I don't know. Who do we kick out here?
You know what? You know what I'm going to Google as we do
random
this?
generator?
No, worst Pokemon
original.
And that's going to say
I would probably kick out Marowak. Just because.
But then there's no more Cubones.
You know what? I am ending this lineage.
No.
Here and now.
Andrew, you can't do that. Cubone is my favorite.
Cubone's your favorite Pokemon?
Is my favorite. I want a tattoo of Cubone. Yeah.
Okay, first of all, that's adorable, and I support this decision 100%. Who would I... Okay, no. Oh, wow. Who's my favorite Pokemon? That's even tougher.
So here's one that I've always found weird.
Yeah.
Kangaskhan.
Oh, Kangaskhan. Named after Genghis Khan. Killed millions of people. Half of the world's lineage is brought to you by Genghis Khan because he raped and pillaged so much.
Stomped on their heads, too, because he's a kangaroo.
And so, okay, so that's what I'm getting to. Genghis Khan, famous... I don't know, Eastern European, Russian area, Mongolian area, dictator and warlord. So you named after a kangaroo, which he probably never even knew existed? If Genghis Khan looked at a kangaroo, he'd be like, what the hell is that?
You know what? Kangaskhan is a bad one from the original 150. But I think it was like in the second or third generation, a dolphin.
Oh, yeah.
A dolphin.
Adolfo.
A dolphin.
A dolphin.
The dolphin with the little mustache.
Yeah.
And it would say zig or something.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. It would zig and zag in the waters.
Yeah.
That was the weirdest one for me.
That is such a strange one.
Yeah.
Yeah. I got a few, and I'm trying to think, which is the one I want to say out loud into a microphone.
What about the Canadian, or like I thought it was Canadian, but Mussolini?
Damn it. Okay, that's the one I was going to go for. Yeah, Mussolini. That's a tough one. That's not great.
Yeah.
Paul Potts, and he's just a bunch of pots, and he's just like, and he's three of them combined, and they create, that was weird. I thought that was odd.
But that, like, a bunch of pots would be a new age Pokemon.
Yes.
Yeah.
You can't convince me. A bunch of Pokemon artists aren't just looking around the room.
They're like Stephen King writing a new book or something like that. Yeah.
What if it's a spooky lamp?
Lamprey.
That's great.
It could be that.
That's good.
It could be that.
Oh my God. So yeah. So what's my favorite one though? That's tough. It's hard not to. The original three are all pretty cute.
Oh man.
Like Charmander is adorable.
Bulbasaur is the best of the three. We've been over this before.
That's insane.
It's not insane.
That's
Andrew.
insane.
No, that's the cultured choice.
What kind of easy cultured choice?
Yeah, the easy choice.
Mm-hmm.
Like just everyone's going to choose Charmander. Flaming lizard with the tail. It's the easy choice.
Doesn't mean it's the wrong choice.
It means it's the wrong choice.
Because it's easy?
Yeah. It'd be like McDonald's is the best food in the world just because it's the most popular. Starbucks is the best coffee just because it's the most popular. It's not true.
Right. So you objectively choose Dunkin' Donuts, the third most popular brand.
Dunkin' Donuts is better than Starbucks. Dunkin' Donuts is some of the best coffee in the world.
Okay, the first point, I was
Dunkin' Donuts is Starbucks. Is the Bulbasaur.
Yes. America runs on Bulbasaur.
I want to play a game with you, Andrew.
I'd love to play a game.
Before we get into this week's game of Pokemon Pinball. I want to play a game, and I'll play this game along with you.
Oh, yay.
I found a Pokemon quiz that's put out by Nintendo to find out which Pokemon we are. So I'm going to read you a question, and you can look in the show notes of this episode if you're out there listening or watching. We'll include a link to this episode in the description. We're going to do this quiz along with you and then let you know which Pokemon we end up being.
It is going to be great when it's like, you're Jinx. And you're like, what? And you're like, you're incredibly problematic and freak everybody out. Oh.
You're Mussolini. Okay. Mussolini, to be fair, was a better design than Stallion. Okay, Andrew, you send a postcard to a friend. What exciting news do you have to share?
Oh, okay.
Either I won a contest.
Okay.
I visited a neat museum.
Oh.
I explored a new trail. I made a new friend.
Right.
I took a spa day.
I probably would say neat museum.
Yes, you would.
Yeah.
Andrew, let's answer for each other.
Oh, that's so much better. Okay? Yes. Okay.
So I'm answering for you. I visited a neat museum.
Yes, I would say that.
Now, Andrew, I send a postcard to a friend. What exciting news do I have to share? I won a contest. I visited a museum. I explored a new trail. I made a new friend. I took a spa day.
I was gonna say a new trail for you because you went on a trip recently and you were talking about the big hike you went.
I am a hiker now.
Yeah,
I am.
Yeah, that's too bad.
Oh, look at this cute picture here. If you're listening along, you got Cubone looking up at some pelican thing. I don't really know. Is that a
real Pokemon?
Probably.
Oh crap.
So I'm gonna answer for you now,
okay.
Andrew. What do you value most?
Oh God.
Adventure, relaxation, knowledge, friends and family, competition. I'm going to say for you, it's adventure.
Okay. That's nice.
Because every time that we hang out, you're always the one that wants to go. And I know you value knowledge quite a bit.
Thank you. I'm just glad you didn't say competition. I'm really pumped about that. When that came up, I'm like, oh shit.
What do you value? What do I value?
Yeah,
most?
that's a tough one. Adventure, knowledge, competition. What was the other two?
Relaxation, friends and family, competition, knowledge, adventure.
I would say friends and family for you. You do respect your family and your friends quite a bit.
I will take that for sure. I will answer this one for you.
Okay.
Where would you go for your dream vacation?
Oh, interesting.
Lavender Town. No, I'm kidding.
Oh, no. Cerulean. Oh, okay. All right, I guess, but not really.
Pallet Town. I don't know. Historical site, hot springs, theme park, oceanside, botanical garden.
Oh, okay. Wow. That's tough.
I'm going to say for you, historical site, hot springs, theme park, oceanside, botanical garden. For your dream vacation.
A dream vacation.
Man, I know you love your history and your historical sites, but I think the fun of a theme park, like a theme park with like a big name attached to it, and you just revisiting your dream. No, I'm going to say historical site actually.
You know what's so funny? I actually think I would have chosen the theme park. I think you were on the right
really?
one. No, historical one. Of course I want to do that. Yeah, of course I want to do that. I'm a nerd.
Where would I go on my dream vacation?
Okay, so
historical site, hot springs, theme park, oceanside, botanical garden.
Oh man, I don't know why I want to say oceanside. Even though can't think of any stories of you like talking about the ocean or wanting to go to the ocean. Even though you do like bodies of water and you like boating around and stuff like that. So maybe that's it. Is it boring if I also say historical site?
No, I think
it's historical site.
I think it's probably it.
Yeah.
I also would probably choose between, like in these ones, I would probably choose between historical site and theme park.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I wouldn't have guessed that for theme park.
Oceanside, no, because that implies beach to me.
Yeah, you don't.
And
like
I don't love beaches.
Ah, there we go. That's everyone knows.
I don't like the sand.
What's this now?
I don't like the sand. It gets
Dune?
all in your.
You doing Donald
cracks? No, I'm doing Anakin Skywalker. And now watch me kill a bunch of children.
Gladly.
How would your friends describe you? This is an apt one for
there
me
you
to answer.
go.
Friendly, passionate, resourceful, adventurous, cool.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
I'm going to say adventurous. I already said it once. I'm going to go for adventurous.
That's great. Thank you very much. And for you, I'm going to say friendly. You're a very friendly person.
Thank you very much.
Like meeting you.
I will take that. I think you that would be a close one for you as well.
Oh, thank you.
What's your favorite snack?
Oh boy.
Sour gummies. Yum. That's actually what it says.
Oh no.
Chips and salsa. I don't like it spicy. Blueberries. Nature's candy. Smoothies. To keep it cool. Chocolate chip cookies. A classic snack.
Classic snack.
You know what? I know that you love spicy, and I think you do like chips and salsa. I'm probably going to go with that.
You were absolutely 100% correct. That is exactly where I went. I love salty snacks and spicy, so that makes a lot of sense. How in the world is this getting us a Pokemon? But whatever.
Great question.
You know what? Smoothie for you.
That's
you always
100%
get
right. That is absolutely correct.
It's almost we don't know each other. Here we go.
Yeah, it's almost like we've been doing a podcast for over 4 years together.
It's like we've known each other since birth. Yes.
What's one thing you can't leave the house without?
Oh, okay.
My glasses, my smile, my backpack, my headphones, my sneakers.
Wow.
So, okay.
Wow, Jesus. Okay.
Here's an answer I have for you.
Yeah.
Every single time you walk through my door when we're about to record, the first thing you do is you take your headphones out.
Yeah.
You can't go anywhere without your headphones.
You are absolutely correct on that one. That is, I've often said my AirPods are the greatest thing I've ever bought in my life.
Yeah.
Like I always am like there would be things that you lose and you're like, that's too bad. If I bought,
did you say there be things you lose?
I'm sorry. My mother's a pirate. there are things that you replace and you'll be like, whatever. If I lost my AirPods, I would walk to the nearest mall and get them.
Yeah.
That is one. Like,
Yeah,
so yeah.
but it would be a shitty walk because you wouldn't have your AirPods.
I'd
for
be
that walk.
so miserable.
What you should do while you still have your AirPods, I'm saying
Appreciate them?
immediately.
Oh,
Put them in, walk to the mall, get yourself a backup now.
honestly
so
should.
that if you ever have to, and then if you lose one pair,
Yeah.
the first thing you do is you open up the new pair, put them in,
Yeah.
walk to the mall.
Right.
So you have, and get another pair.
Yeah.
So you always have a backup for that walk
but then
to the
I
mall.
feel like I'm cheating on my first pair. Like, why would I, get
That would be like if your dog is sick and you buy a new dog. You're like, just in case you go, I'm going to need someone.
quiet backup dog. Oh, I gotta feed it? God damn it. Why won't the first dog die already?
You don't feed your AirPods?
No. Oh, yeah, right. That's probably why they're breaking.
I feed them Block Rock and Beats, my friend.
Fat tunes.
What's one thing I can't leave the house without? My glasses, my smile, my backpack, my headphones, my sneakers.
Well, I don't think the last three really count to you because you don't really wear sneakers and
That's
I've never seen you wear a backpack.
That's true.
And the few times you wear headphones, I think you've been made fun of them for them. So I don't know. You always have a big smile, so I'm gonna say your smile.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
I'll take that. I always wear sunglasses. So
You do?
Yeah,
Yeah, that's true.
But I will take my smile because I always want to.
That's true.
So
How
okay,
many questions is this?
too many probably.
It's 9 of 30. Oh God.
Oh my God. No, we're done here.
Okay.
So it's just a type of Pokemon.
Okay.
Andrew. You are an electric type Pokemon.
Interesting.
You love excitement and adventure.
Huh.
In the Pokemon Mystery Dungeon Rescue Team DX game, there's a chance you might wake up as an electric type Pokemon like Pikachu.
What the hell was this last thing?
It was an advertisement, I think.
Oh my God. Do we have to buy it now?
I think we do. Fuck you. I'm a normal type Pokemon.
This is a very accurate quiz. Wow. They really nailed it.
Wonderful. You're friendly, skillful, and well-rounded in the Pokemon Mystery Dungeon Rescue Team DX.
I think we have to buy this game now.
There's a chance you might wake up as a normal type Pokemon like Meowth, Eevee, or Skitty.
Okay. Yeah.
By the way, Skitty looks nothing if normal.
Yeah, that weird looking Pokemon.
Although looks kind of like normal.
It kind of does look like normal.
The Garfield cat.
You and I are very much a Garfield and normal type situation.
Who's Garfield?
I hate Mondays and I love lasagna. Get the hell out of here. What do you think?
So I'm just a side character.
I also kick the shit out of dogs, all I say.
You know Normal's a guy?
Normal's a man?
Yeah.
Wow. Or a male cat?
No, male human being.
Captain Cat.
Yeah.
There's a witch. It's a whole backstory. You got to buy.
It's a whole.
You got to
thing.
buy volume 78.
You got to buy Pokemon Mystery Dungeon Rescue Team DX to find out what happens. So that was fun.
That was fun. I'm electric.
Learned a lot
You're
about
normal.
each other. But you know what's also fun? This week's game. It's Pokemon Pinball for the Gameboy Colour, Andrew.
Okay.
This is a game I've been dying to do on this podcast.
You've been dying to do it.
People don't realize how much I played this game. I 100%ed this game back when it came out.
Like I said, 100%ing a pinball game look like?
Beating all the tables.
Is your ball still in the air? Like you're still doing
I'm
it?
still playing it,
Yeah.
Andrew. It's at 99.999 for the rest of my life. It's an asymptotal percentage that will never quite reach the end.
What does that mean? Does it no finish? Like
An asymptote is it gets closer and closer to it's a mathematical equation that gets closer and closer to a point without ever reaching it.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Wow, I learned something today.
Yeah. Nothing that we can use in our day-to-day lives.
No, probably not. You know what's so funny though? You know, this game, I have all prediction in the world that this game will be good.
Okay.
Because for two reasons. We love Pokemon, so much so that we created a whole corollary
That's
about
true.
strapping Pokemon wallpaper onto things will make us like it more.
And we call it?
The Pokemon Snap corollary.
We do.
So that's already working for it,
Yes.
right? And then the second thing is we have had a real streak of liking pinball games.
Yes, we have.
On this podcast. And now combination of the two, this could be the greatest game of all time. Watch how Simpsons
pinball games are a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm.
Also, pinball is a lot of fun.
Interesting.
I really like pinball.
Bold move.
Now, here's the thing. Before I get too much into the concept of what 100%ing a game like this looks like, I want to go through a quiz about this game rather than me telling you what the game is about,
okay.
I'm going to ask you questions and you're going to tell me true or false whether these are features of the game.
Oh, okay, cool.
So that's why I haven't answered what it takes to 100% the game yet.
Okay,
because I don't want to tip my cards too closely there. Okay. But Pokemon Pinball came out on the Game Boy Color June 28th, 1999 in North America, April 14th in Japan, developed by Jupiter and HAL Laboratory. HAL Laboratory, obviously very famous in the Nintendo realm, published by Nintendo. The cartridge itself on the Game Boy Color had a rumble pack, which was an interesting feature. Jupiter was a company I wasn't familiar with. So I looked them up to find out some other things that they'd done. They did a lot of handheld games for Nintendo. They did a lot of collaborations with Nintendo or other developers where they were kind of, I guess, doing some assets while another developer handled, like The World Ends With You is an example of a game where they did it with Square Enix and Jupiter kind of co-developed it. But the most interesting thing about Jupiter that got me onto something that I love about this podcast is finding out about things that I didn't even know about.
Yeah.
Have you ever heard of the Pokemon Mini?
No.
So the Pokemon Mini was a handheld console made by Nintendo.
Whoa.
It was 2.9 by 2.3 by 0.9 inches. So very small.
Very small.
We're talking like Tamagotchi size.
Yeah. Was it the face of Pikachu?
No, that's the Pokemon Pikachu, the Pikachu Pocket or something like that,
all right.
which was more of like, that was like a Tamagotchi, but for Pikachu. I did have one of those. This was the smallest Nintendo console that had interchangeable cartridges. Whoa. So you can imagine at that size, it also had interchangeable cartridges and a few games. It didn't sell long enough to have a long life cycle, but it was all Pokemon themed handheld games. I can't imagine they were very good because it was just like one of those little LCD screen type things, like nothing that elaborate. It had Pichu Bros, which sounds like Mario Bros. That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Pokemon Breeder, interesting name. Pokemon Party, which sounds like where the breeding happens. Pokemon Pinball, which would have been like a dialed down version. Pokemon Puzzle Collections 1 and 2, Pokemon Race, Pokemon Tetris, Pokemon Zany Cards, and Togepi's Great Adventure. Just a fascinating console to have stumbled upon that I didn't know existed, but the kind of thing, like a little miniature handheld that I was like, I got to get my hands on something like this.
Yeah.
I took to the internet to see whether I could. They're selling right now for like $250 American. So
how many did you get?
One for me, one for backup for me. So two for me.
That makes sense.
But then I got one extra one.
Oh, cool.
In case one breaks and I have to walk to the mall and I can play the other one to pick up another one. Yeah.
Okay, I guess so. Okay, well, that makes sense.
What if when I'm walking to the mall, I drop one in a sewer?
Right.
Because there's like a clown there with a balloon or something like that.
Yes, Pennywise himself.
He's like, we all float down here. And I'm like, have some fun. Lighten up, dude.
And then
huck him a Pokemon Mini.
Yeah, it's like a Capri Sun commercial. And then he becomes really cool.
Yeah, he comes to Mr. Mime. That's how he was born.
Oh my God, is Pennywise the Clown Mr. Mime? Am I just putting this together now? Oh man.
So that was pretty cool. I liked seeing that. Let's get into though some of the gameplay elements of this game. I'm going to ask you a series of questions. You're going to tell me true or false.
Yes.
Are these features in the game?
True, you will.
Andrew?
Yeah?
You got the first one right.
Hey, all right.
What if I said no and just scrapped the whole segment?
Just false. I'm not doing a quiz. What the fuck? Okay.
I won't. My whole life right now is to rid myself of this normal type Pokemon thing. I'm going to be so wild. I'm going to be so adventurous.
You won't.
Yeah, I'm going to be so adventurous. Watch this.
What's that?
I'll take a sip from my water bottle right now.
Yeah.
Middle of recording.
Right. This makes you not normal.
That's lukewarm water, baby.
The fact that you have a nice bottle of water ready to go.
Yeah.
So you stay hydrated.
No, that's responsible. Is there a responsible type Pokemon? Because you know what? Of all the things I know, responsibility ain't normal no more.
Yeah. Common sense ain't common, baby.
There's only one person with common sense.
Common.
And he's in love with Chicago, baby.
All right. True or false?
True or false, Andrew? The ball that you use on the playboard is a Pokeball.
I will say true.
Andrew?
Yeah.
You are 100% correct.
All right, good. I was worried that it was like kind of like Sonic where he was spinning. So it's like,
right. Pikachu rolls up as a ball or something.
Or it's like Voltorb.
That could have worked. Yeah, Voltorb would have been a cool one. Yes, you do play as a Pokeball. You can also get multipliers that can turn it into, like when you get a multiplier, it turns into like a great ball or a master ball.
That's so cool.
Very cool.
That makes sense.
Apart from amassing points, you can also catch Pokemon in the game.
Mm-hmm. I will. Wow, that's a huge core tenet of what Pokemon is. So that would make sense that it would be part of this pinball game, even though I don't know how the mechanic works of that. I'm going to say true.
Andrew, you're 100% right. It would be hard to imagine a Pokemon game without capturing Pokemon in it. All 151 Pokemon from the Pokedex are in it.
Whoa.
And that, to call back to earlier in the episode, is how you 100% the game.
You have to catch all 151. So you've caught all 151 on multiple platforms.
Yeah.
Wow, that's impressive.
Well, one platform.
Well, I guess different
multiple games.
Yeah, what would that be called? Different, I don't know. Games.
Different games.
Okay.
One platform.
I was trying to be, thoughtful about it and sentimental, and you're just
okay. Elliot, can we stop rolling for a second?
What do you want Elliot for?
So this is, I guess, kind of a group. We're not recording. Okay. All right, Andrew. We've had this conversation before. Elliot.
We have? About?
Well, we're going to get into it. We've had this conversation before. Elliot knows this, and I need Elliot as a witness in case this comes up. We're going to write you up again.
Oh, come on.
You can't. You have to stop trying to be thoughtful.
Right. That's what you think is bringing down this podcast, me being thoughtful?
It's so, okay.
I think being thoughtful couldn't hurt.
No, you are absolutely correct.
Right. Okay.
That being thoughtful couldn't hurt.
Right.
You have tried time and time again.
Uh-huh.
We've given you enough rope to try to be thoughtful, and you've come back time and time again and have failed at it. And that's what's kind of been derailing some of the conversations. And it's fine.
Not mixed metaphors?
Not mixed metaphors. No, because you can have ropes on trains.
You can have ropes on. What the hell are you talking about? Well, that's
because I said we gave you enough rope and you derailed it.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, that should have been very clear to me. I'm sorry about
Elliot's going to write you up. You're going to have to stop trying to be thoughtful.
Stop smiling.
Yeah, Elliot. No, you're right.
He's taking a lot of pleasure in writing me up.
Andrew, don't say that. Elliot, you should smile more. You look better when you smile.
No, you shouldn't say that. That's not good. You shouldn't say that.
I don't want. Why? It's bad that he's happy?
He should be allowed to feel what he wants to feel without you encouraging one way or another.
Oh, but that's so interesting now that I think about it, because he was smiling and you told him not to. So why are you telling him how to feel?
Because his smiling is impacting me.
Oh
my God. This is so circle logic. This drives me insane. Okay, you know what? Elliot was making me feel bad because he was smiling, taking pleasure in my pain. You're sexualizing Elliot again.
Which is making him smile, to be fair.
No, he's uncomfortable. Well, how do you feel? Yeah, he doesn't say anything. Oh, that's weird. We got to work on that, eh?
If you you called it circular logic. I'm just going to call it good logic.
Mm-hmm.
I'll tell you what. I won't write you up. Okay. I will assign you.
Why are you why you don't oversee me? You don't supervise me.
I don't want to have to.
You have to?
I said I don't want to have to, but someone's got to do it.
No one has to do it. We're partners.
I would like that to be true.
Oh, for fuck's
I truly would.
Yeah, right.
I truly would.
And nothing would make me
in spite of this, we are
nothing would make me smile more.
Okay. All right. Elliot, let's roll. Let's get back to the questions.
Oh, for fuck's sakes. Yeah. So I'm 2-0 so far.
You are 2-0 so far.
Yeah.
So in order to catch Pokemon,
right,
I'll walk you through some of the process. You initiate a catch mode in the game, and you go through a flipper or whatever.
Yeah.
And you have to hit 6 bumpers. Each of the bumpers that you hit fills in a silhouette of a Pokemon. When you fill in the silhouette, the Pokemon goes into the center of the table.
Okay.
And you have to hit that Pokemon 4 times with the ball, and then you've caught the Pokemon.
I see. Okay.
That's true.
Yeah. The flippers, little Adolphos.
Adolphos.
Yeah, that's right.
Little Adolphos. They're hiling with their hands.
Hiling, yes. Yes. This game is so confusing. Where does it stand?
Oh man.
Jinx. If Jinx was in a movie, right? So like the next Detective Pikachu or something like that, which they're not making, but whatever. Whatever. Who do you think plays real live Jinx?
Real live Jinx.
Yeah, like I was thinking Jennifer Coolidge.
Jennifer Coolidge. That would actually work. She's got the lips for it.
Yeah,
for
right?
Sure,
yeah.
For sure.
Kind of messy.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. I was watching White Lotus and I'm like, Jinx.
She can absolutely be a Jinx.
Yeah.
Who do you think would play the 400 series Pokemon Godogphy?
Godogphy?
Godogphy.
Is that after Gaddafi?
Yes.
Who would play Godogphy? I
think Gaddafi.
Right. Yeah, Gaddafi could. Well, yeah, he's naturally. I think it's two on the nose. I think Ben Kingsley would do a very good job.
For Jinx.
He could do anything, man. He could play all 151. This could be like an Eddie Murphy situation where he does all of them and they're all talking to each other. It's amazing.
Okay. Question number 3.
Yes. Question number 3. Yes. Electric type Pokemon.
You play as, speaking of, you play as Pikachu playing pinball.
What? So wait, Pikachu's collecting other Pokemon?
Pikachu is always, yes.
He's betraying his kind. I don't like it.
He always is.
Yeah. Okay.
True or false?
True or false? Has Pikachu betrayed his kind? True?
No, it's false.
Oh, that's too bad.
You play as you playing Pokemon.
Oh, that was the question? I thought you were telling me you play as Pikachu.
Andrew, this whole thing is questions.
You have to say Mikey says. Wait, what? Maybe I don't understand this game. Okay.
So in your mind, I said question 3.
Pikachu. Yeah. And I was like, well, that's so odd.
What a weird question.
Okay. So I got one wrong. Okay, I get it. For not listening.
Question 4. You can use rare candies to evolve Pokemon you've caught in an active round.
I'm going to say false.
That is false.
Oh, really? Because I can't imagine you. Why do you need to level up these Pokemon? Oh,
you do.
Evolve.
You do. You evolve Pokemon. In order to do so, similar to the catch mode, you enter an evolution mode.
Yeah.
And it has to be a Pokemon that you've caught during that round.
Yeah.
Hit bumpers, hit Pokemon, blah, blah, blah.
Right.
That sort of thing. Question 5.
Yeah.
Again, true or false question, Andrew?
Yeah, I should have known this. Sorry.
There are 2 tables in the game, red and blue.
2 tables, like pinball tables.
Yes.
I'm going to say false. There's more.
Andrew?
I say like different gyms. Wouldn't that be good? Okay, what is it? Am I right or wrong? Yeah, it's compelling. Oh, it's suspenseful. It's like Ryan Seacrest right after this break.
It's false.
Oh,
no, sorry. I mean, it's true.
Oh,
there are 2 tables.
Oh, damn it. I was wrong.
But on each of the tables, you have access to different towns and areas. You can have things that initiate map changes on the table.
Okay.
So you can have a round where you start in one city and you go to another town and a gym, different places like Pallet Town, Viridian Forest, Pewter City, Lavender Town, etc. Oh no. There are bonus stages, including this is a true or false question.
Okay.
There are bonus stages, including a Diglett stage, Ghastly stage, Meowth stage, Seal stage, Mewtwo stage.
True. I want to say true. You're gonna say false. Damn it.
I am, but give your reasoning.
I just thought, that makes the collection of Pokemon you chose. I was like, that feels like the Pokemon they would choose.
So it is true that there are bonus stages.
Are you trying to get me in technicalities or what are we doing here?
It is false that there's a Ghastly stage. It's a Gengar stage.
Get the hell out of here. Really?
You're wrong. You're wrong.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
It's not, you guess, you know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I should have known.
Don't make me get Elliot to stop the recording again.
Please, God, I don't want to talk to Elliot ever again. Don't.
Is it because he stopped smiling when you wanted him to smile or something?
He saw the movie Smile and now he won't stop smiling. It's
weird.
His
head keeps falling off.
I don't like it. Work on that.
Work on it, Elliot.
Keep the head on the shoulders. And that's a motivational talk. Okay, so yes, I'm sorry, I didn't remember it was Gengar SF gas.
Yeah. And that is true. Reception of this game, aggregate score of an 82%. GameSpot gave it an 8.7. Famitsu gave it a 32 out of 40. Generally speaking, like pretty, what are you laughing at?
Is this a true or false?
No.
Oh, I was like, okay. So I was laughing because I thought, it got an 82%. These guys gave it 87.
31%.
Exactly. That's what I thought you were going to do. And I'm like,
I would do that.
Yeah.
I would
just did. Yeah.
Because I'm a host that likes to keep you on your toast.
Wow. Very good. Yes. Yeah. Okay. So 82% is pretty good though.
Yeah, no, it is good.
Yeah.
I thought as a kid it deserved higher than that. Like I said, I 100% did it. Yeah. One review in particular that stood out to me as questionable is CNET said that CNET said that it had incorrect physics.
This mouse shoots lightning. No, I don't.
No, like how the ball like falls on the playing field.
Right. How the Pokeball.
Yes.
Yeah. Tries to hit the Diglett.
That's it, right?
Like,
it's incorrect physics, which scares me. But I do remember, it's funny because before I read that review, I remember the floatiness of it. I remember it being particularly floaty, and I remember really liking that about it.
Oh,
so
okay.
Maybe CNET just didn't like it. I did. Who's correct? True or false?
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah.
Andrew, who's correct? True or false?
Well, I don't know. This week we'll do Mikey's, and then next week we'll bring CNET in.
Okay.
And we'll see whose review is better.
I'm sure we can find someone from CNET to join
I'm sure
the
we
podcast.
could.
Yeah, let's do it. So that's kind of it, Andrew. Now, typically what we do on the podcast, which we didn't mention at the beginning of the podcast.
No.
We got straight into Poke Talk.
You have no idea what you're here for.
No. Well, unless you're an old listener.
Yeah.
Then you do. But typically what we do on the podcast is we take a look back at the games that we used to play when we were kids. Usually it's something we had an affinity towards one way or another. We rate and review the game as we remember it back when we played it. Then we actually take a break and play the game, play you some of the video over on our YouTube channel, and come back and rate and review the game once again out of 4 bits based on how the game holds up in the modern day against like some modern games. Does that sound familiar to you?
That does sound familiar.
Great.
Yes. Yeah.
Did you play this game when you were younger?
No, I never did.
So usually what we would do is we talk a little bit about the game if we both had experience of it before playing the gameplay. Because I do have a lot of experience with it, I would love to do that. I can't. I'm a little bit hamstrung right now because you haven't played it. No. But I'll save all my thoughts until after the gameplay portion, and I'll also give it my review based on my memory of it. I'm excited for it, Andrew. It's been a very long time since I played this game. What do you think? What are you expecting out of this?
I don't know, because Pokemon has a really bad way of their ancillary games. Like they're not linear games where they're trying to tell the story of like new Pokemon and everything like that.
Right.
Of being okay. Like they're not great.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And so I worry that they just thought pinball makes sense. Let's just make a pinball game.
Yeah. I mean, it feels like, Pokemon has done that sometimes where they've just kind of slapped the license on whatever they could. And I imagine that would be a pitfall that people would worry about.
Yeah.
What do you think you're going to enjoy it though?
Yes, I do. Because if it's a pinball game and it works, I'll be like, hey, look at this game. It works. You know what I mean? Like it's a pretty black or white idea with pinball. It's either a pinball game that works or it's a flawed game and you're like, oh, this sucks. So I think it will work. Okay. And I think I'll enjoy it.
I think you will enjoy it as well. I hope you do, because I have high expectations of this game.
Do you.
And we'll see how it goes. We'll see you hopefully, make your way over to the YouTube channel. Like we said, we made a change. All of our gameplay segments as of Retrograde onwards are going to be on our YouTube channel. It's youtube.com/retrograde podcast. We got that handle.
Yes,
baby.
we did.
You can go there and find the gameplay segments there. So if you're going to join us for that, great. Otherwise, we'll see you on the other side in 2 shakes of a Kim Jong Drill's tail. Hey, D-pads, want to watch this week's gameplay segment where we play a portion of today's game and provide video commentary while doing it? All of our gameplay segments are available for free at youtube.com/the Retrograde podcast. Make sure to subscribe and maybe leave us a like and comment while you're there. And while you're here, why not drop us a rating or review on your podcast platform of choice? It only takes you a moment, but it helps us out immensely and lets us know you appreciate us as much as we appreciate you. You can still join us on our Patreon for $5 US per month at patreon.com/the Retrograde podcast for monthly bonus episodes such as drafts, spoiler casts, top 10 lists, and take some suggestions from the community, both gaming and non-gaming related. Plus, make sure to follow us on all our social media channels. It's at Retrograde Pod on Twitter and TikTok, or at the Retrograde Podcast on Instagram. We're also available on Twitter at Retrograde Mikey and at Retrograde Andy. Finally, reach out to us with any business inquiries or questions and comments you'd like us to read on air at the Retrograde Podcast at gmail.com. We'll see you all on the other side.
And welcome back to the Retrograde.
Hey, Andrew. I'm just here bouncing around.
Oh, boy, are you?
Yeah.
You could be bouncing on the left, you could be bouncing on the right, but you better not be bouncing in the center. I'll be very upset with you.
No. Well, I feel like the ball bounced into the center for you a bit more often than it did for me.
Here's the thing, though. It didn't. It went in the exact same number of times.
That's
now,
true.
How long did it stay up?
Yes.
That's up for debate.
Yes. Those moments where you are so sure that you've got a hit on your hands.
Oh,
and you show somebody the thing and you realize through them that the thing that you loved isn't actually that good.
Yes. You ever shown someone a movie you loved?
Yes.
And then you're like, I don't remember it being that long.
Yeah.
You're like, I don't remember that character. And they're like, there's this, it's like, especially like teen comedies or something like that. And they're like, oh, there's like horrible homosexual jokes, like, homophobia
Long duck
jokes.
dong.
And you're like, I don't remember this.
Yeah.
Like, Kevin Spacey played the principal and he comes to party with all the kids.
Yes.
I don't remember that.
Was this
part.
American Beauty?
Yeah, it's American Beauty. Oh, right. Yeah, that's not a comedy at all. Yeah, it is. It's so true. Do you have those feelings about this game that we played today?
I do have those feelings about this game.
Okay.
I'll be honest. I understand why I liked it as a kid. I understand because it was, apart from like Android pinball on computers,
on desktop,
one of the first pinball games that I had played, non-actual physical mechanical pinball. So that, combined with the Pokemon Snap corollary of you apply Pikachu and Farfetch'd and Spearow and Fearow and all the O's.
Unnamed
Sandra
crab.
O.
Unnamed
crab. Yeah.
Yeah.
You apply the dressings of that and I'm going to love it even that much more. I was brainwashed as a kid to love Pokemon. And there were moments playing this game that I liked, but you cannot overstate the simplicity of and repetition of this game.
And I think that's being nice.
Yes.
That you would focus on, it's too simple and not limited, or, you know what I mean? Simple is a positive way of saying, a negative word.
And to be fair, I didn't intend it to be positive. It is simple and it is limited. And it, like, when you think about,
just like my moves in bed.
Just like simple, limited, but effective?
No, I didn't say that.
Oh, okay.
And neither did any of my partners.
And they don't last as long as the turns in this game.
Yes. It's not them looking up like, can we just finish this? Like, it's too long.
Come on, you're not a hero.
Okay, you said hero?
Uh-huh.
I recently played a pinball machine, and this is the only time I can bring this up. It was at a local bar that I really like, and I am not going to give any context clues on which bar that is, because the last time I gave out context clues about my local convenience store, I got a few people that told me exactly which convenience store that was, and I was like, oh, that is terrifying, even though you probably all had good intentions. There's a bar I liked, and it was Spider-Man 2. And it was
shit.
This is a bar that doesn't have anything else. It's just a bar, and all of a sudden, there's Spider-Man 2.
A pinball game.
A pinball game.
Wow.
It's Spider-Man 2, a pinball game. And the whole time I play it just like, a hero will save us.
Wait, did it actually have that song in it?
No.
Oh, that would have been amazing.
But honestly,
some pinball machines would.
That's incredible that you put in a couple of quarters, and you could hear the tables around there. Oh, no.
I resent that. No one's rolling their eyes when that song comes on. I don't care how many times they heard it in a day.
They heard it straight for 24 hours. And they're like, fuck yeah, it's starting again. No, I'm just saying that pinball, pinball is such a whole subculture, and we didn't really talk about it.
Yes.
There's just, there is people that love pinball. It's pinball only. And there's a whole sub art about it. And that, like, the Addams Family is actually one of the best pinball games of all time.
Yeah.
Do you have a pinball game? Do you remember playing one where you're like, that was great?
Ooh, good question. Like a specific table?
Yeah. Like, I'll start.
Sure.
Okay, any pinball game where the pulley is a gun.
Oh, that's great.
Come on, get out of here.
Was there a Terminator one like that?
That's exactly what I was going to say.
That's cool.
Yes.
I like that. When I was in Spain with my girlfriend, we found a bar. We did the most like American thing of all time, or North American thing of all time. We went to Spain, and we'd been there for 8 days. This is one of our last nights at this point. And we're like, you know what I'd really like right now is a bourbon. And so we're looking around for somewhere to get bourbon. Bourbon is not very popular out there. And we find an American themed bar.
Oh no.
And we go to it. We're like, hell yeah. And we walk in there and everyone like cheered for us. But they had a Flintstones pinball machine.
Flintstones the cartoon, Flintstones the movie.
Flintstones the movie. I swear on my life.
So John Goodman.
Alec Baldwin.
Rick Moranis. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Halle Berry.
Was it Halle Berry?
I think she plays the assistant. Oh, maybe that might be number 2, Rock Vegas.
The Rock Vegas. No, you know who was there was another actress that was pretty famous in the 90s.
Okay.
Rosie O'Donnell.
Remember.
Yeah, she was in it.
Yeah, because she plays the other one. I don't know.
The other one.
The one in the blue dress.
No, that was someone else.
No, I'm pretty sure that's her.
Agree to disagree.
Okay, I guess, Buy some tickets to Spain. Let's go. Only one way to find this out.
So no, I do like pinball in person. There's a bar in Toronto that has a pretty ratty pinball machine that I fucking love. I won't give any context.
I was going to say, try not to. They'll find you, man.
Yeah, they'll find me. No, but this game, so to set the stage, title card, Pikachu kind of merged with a Pokeball. You got 3 options, I think. You've got start game, Pokedex, and settings or whatever it is. Maybe one to see the high scores. And when you start, you can go red table, blue table. The tables are slightly different. The blue table is awful. It's so weird.
So much harder.
It's a route that goes, it's harder and simpler in a weird way. It's more limited and
like you in bed.
Minus the harder.
Oddly softer and simpler.
Simple. And also like this game, not a lot of fun. The red table is at least a little bit more like a traditional pinball table.
Right.
The blue table, I think it's safe to say, is more akin to like a gamified pinball machine. There's like an arrow in the center where if it switches between pointing up, down, left, and right, and whichever way it's pointing, it's going to shoot the ball that way. That's not typical of a mechanical pinball machine. The red one, though, is so small that it basically just has like a loop that goes around, an area with a couple Voltorbs, a bell sprout where the ball can go into, and that's it. Like that's kind of it. And you hit a couple buttons, the Pokemon come up, you try to unlock them. It's really difficult to tell what you have to do to change the level, to get more Pokemon on there, to get them to evolve. You just kind of keep throwing the ball up there and hoping something changes. And I remember doing that as a kid as well, not knowing why things were happening, but I just knew if I kept the ball up long enough, things were gonna happen.
Cool.
Before I lob the ball over to your court to give some more impressions, the most important thing to say about this game, 4:3 ratio on the Game Boy. When you go from the bottom half of the pinball machine to the top, the screen changes.
Yeah.
It's like a full wipe to a new screen.
Yep.
The ball continues at the trajectory it was at, but when the ball's going fast and it's going from the top to the bottom and it crosses that halfway point and the screen changes and all of a sudden it just shoots the ball at you with no time to react. It's no wonder the physics are wonky in this game. I think it's because they're more forgiving and they have to be.
Yeah.
They have to be because otherwise this game would be almost impossible to control.
So yeah, like you're bringing up kind of the main issue, I'd say, is that switching between the top half to the bottom half, which I guess was a technological necessity at the time because it was on a Game Boy Advance.
Right.
It just zaps a lot of fun out of it.
Not a Game Boy Advance, a Game Boy Color.
Game Boy Color. Thank you very much. So instead of the camera panning up, panning down, or showing the whole screen, it really zaps a lot of fun out of it because the momentum, because even if you have a short turn, you are going up and down 50 times.
Easy. Yeah, easy, right? 50 times. And each time you do it, you can't help but take you out of it.
Oh, God, yeah.
Yeah.
And if the ball's going faster, like you're saying, that ball's always got a head start a little bit on you. Yes. And you're like, whoa, Jesus.
Yeah.
So that takes away a lot of fun. I will say they jammed as much theming as possible into these levels. I get that, like...
Do you think so? I don't think they leaned enough into the Pokemon of it. I wanted more sound effects. I wanted more items and power-ups. I wanted Pokemon more often on the board and interacting with me. Like, sure, you got a Bellsprout and you got some Diglets and you got this and that. And maybe I don't know how you could have changed more.
That's my only thing.
But it still felt like they were an afterthought. Pokemon were an afterthought at some points in time in this game, as opposed to being like the main crux of it, if that makes sense.
Okay, and I totally get that. The screen, and kind of like you said earlier, the level itself, the board itself, is so small. It's so small. And it's not like this thing where, in my mind, most pinball machines are 3 levels, kind of. There's usually a raised level at the back that kind of goes around and you can kind of go under. There's a middle one where there's lots of stuff going on. And then there's the downside where there's flippers and the rails and stuff like that. This one kind of only has 2.
You know what? It's funny you say that. I agree with you, and I never would have put it into words like that, but you're right. There are kind of 3 sections to it. Yeah. And maybe it's it's like the 2 have just been jutted together.
Totally.
And that's it. Yeah.
And I'm not saying this would have been better with 3 because then we would have cut 3 times and it would have been like impossible to tell where you were. But it's just such a small board to work with that you're right. I completely agree with you. They could have done more, but at the same time, the small board, you're like, where do you put them?
Where do you put it?
Like Diglets are sticking out of the sides. You know what I mean?
You know what they could have done if they really had more resources? Maybe that was one of the issues. I feel like going the Sonic Spinball route and making these levels as opposed to pinball boards would have been a much better idea. Like the more I think about a game like Sonic Spinball, the physics in that game as well, not amazing, but the idea of it is really endearing. And really neat. Not much like that has been done since that. And I think that because of that, you could borrow an idea from it and make, like, if you're going to make a new Pokemon pinball game, that would be the route you have to go.
Yeah, I agree with you. I'm glad we're bringing up Sonic.
Yeah.
We played Sonic Spinball, I don't know, a year ago, something like that.
Yeah, probably around
long time ago. And we loved it. Absolutely loved it. And I'm so glad we're bringing it up because it's the latest pinball game that we played before this one.
Right.
And I can't begin to describe how much better Sonic is than this.
Yeah.
There's ingenuity in where you can get carried, and sometimes Sonic will fall into a pail, and that pail will move across the screen and all this kind of stuff. It's just night and day, so much better than this.
Yeah.
And it's too bad because Sonic, as we have Sonic a lot of shit in this podcast, because the story is so weird, and like there's less reference points for Sonic for me than there would be for Pokemon.
Sure.
And so Pokemon should be more fun. There's more stuff happening, the evolutions and the catching and stuff like that. And the thing this game should be is fun, and the last thing I would describe this game as is fun.
Yeah, maybe you can ascribe the word satisfying to it if you found satisfaction in seeing your score go up or seeing the ball go into a hole when it opens up or something like that. But that's about it. Yeah. And fun, I agree, definitely isn't it. And pinball, I think in general is fun. Pinball is something where, it's similar to like when you walk through a casino and you see someone pull a slot machine and there's bells and whistles and it's like overstimulation. There's a part of this feeling of like, I can't believe I did all this shit. This is amazing. And that is fun. But this feels so simple that once you've got the ball in the Bellsprout's mouth, once you've hit the Diglett on the head a couple times, once you've hit the Poliwhirl or the Psyduck or the Voltorbs, you realize that like no matter what you do, how your ball interacts with the playing field, you're not going to get much more out of it apart from seeing that little interaction.
Yeah.
And
it's like one of 7 things you can do.
That's it. That's it.
That's kind of nuts.
And when you've done them all, because these rounds can last a fucking long time. I had like maybe a 20-minute round, which is long. Pinball shouldn't last 20 minutes.
Yeah.
I'm sure if you're like amazing at it, it would, but it just felt drawn out.
Mm-hmm.
And if the board were changing a lot more as you were going, if there were more interactions or things were introducing new elements, then the growth and evolution of a round would feel more like a traditional level in a video game. But because none of that's happening, you're more just like kind of waiting for it to be over.
Okay. Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. It's so funny because if you had said to me, there's a pinball game, what IP do you think we should attach to it? You'd say Pokemon pretty up there because you're like, that's so good.
Yeah.
By the way, what other IP do you think would be a good pinball
great
machine?
question.
Like if there's a pinball machine in your mind, we walk into a fun bar and you're like, you see a pinball of this thing and you're like, oh, I gotta play this. Like you have to, you run over.
You know what? Ratchet and Clank, I feel like would make a great one. All the sound effects, I think Ratchet and Clank is very good at having a lot of moving parts and making whimsy. And I think whimsy is important in a pinball machine. Yeah. I think that would be a good one. What about you?
I was thinking Guardians of the Galaxy.
Oh my God.
The music,
it's built for that.
The colors,
it's built for that.
I just think it like you give those little lines of like, you're like, nothing goes over my head. And then it's just like, carry on my wayward son. And you're like, oh, this is great. This is like funny. And all the colors flashing out against
What about a Quentin Tarantino pinball machine?
Oh my God, that's a great idea.
Hell, right? Yeah.
Yeah. You could choose any of the movies individually even too. Yes. But yeah. Oh my God, that's like a Reservoir Dog one?
Sure.
Oh my God.
100%.
Stuck in the middle with you. And then you got to like hit the ear a couple times.
Who do you have to pick? Hit it one more time and it falls off.
It falls off.
Yeah. Then you're just dealing with an ear in the center of your...
Hit the ear again.
Who do you have to pitch to get that game made?
Seriously, who do I need to get in the same room? The biggest pinball maker in the world? I don't know. And QT himself. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
honestly, it feels like Quentin Tarantino would fucking love something like that.
He would.
You know what it would be to the pull instead of like a gun? A foot.
A foot? You got to rub the foot. You're like massaging it. and then it shoots it out.
And then it shoots out of a dick. Like that would just, 100%.
Yeah, be blood squirting it up. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh man, this is a good idea.
It's a great idea.
Oh, and then therefore out of nowhere, a Patreon episode comes out.
Honestly, it could. By the way, patreon.com/retrograde podcast. You heard it during the break, but join us over there. We're going to be putting some more bonus episodes up, and we just took some requests, so we're busy putting those episodes together as well.
You will be getting a Black Panther 2 episode very soon.
Yes, that's true. That's true. As we always do with Marvel. It's fitting, I think, that we ended up, as we do on this podcast when we play games that are just, there's not a ton to talk about, we end up talking about ideas of other things to do. Like, and it's so disappointing. Like, one of the hardest things about doing this podcast is it often ruins my memories of games that I loved.
Right.
I had such a vivid memory playing this game as a kid in the backseat of a car, and my mom ran into this mall.
An older person. Oh, okay. Sorry.
A dog. Yeah. And I remember sitting there, and it was one of those, like, you know, those nice little, like, just a road trip you take with a parent. Yeah. And I'm sitting in the back seat and I'm playing Pokemon Pinball, and she runs into the bank or something like that, and I'm just playing there, and I just felt great.
Okay.
I just felt fucking great. And now I think back to that, like, you fucking idiot.
You could have been playing anything.
You could have been playing anything on there. You could have been playing Kirby. Kirby's a great Game Boy game.
Yeah. Yeah, sir. And you hated Kirby.
I did hate Kirby.
I wanted to kick the shit out of Kirby.
Hey, Kirby Pinball. I'm sure that exists.
I'm
almost positive that exists.
Well, that's another one to add to the list.
Yes.
But yeah, you're right. This is disappointing for so many reasons. But to find out how disappointing, I think it's time to get to our scores.
Let's get to our scores. So as we said, we're going to start with a score out of 4 bits based on our memory of the game, based on when we played it as kids. I will be giving my score out of 4 bits based on my actual memory of the game. You're going to be giving a 4-point score based on what you think you would have thought about this game had you played it as a little kid. So why don't you start off with that, Andrew?
Yeah, we've kind of talked about this in the past. I loved Pokemon Stadium.
Yeah.
I loved Pokemon Snap.
Yeah.
I loved other Pokemon and then verbs. I would have, but
Stadium's not a verb.
Not if you use it like that, but it's not Standium?
Standium. Yeah.
Oh no. Oh shit. I would have liked this game.
Yes.
I would have liked anything with Pokemon attached to it, but would have I loved this game? You know what's so funny? I really liked physical pinball, and there was like arcades in the areas that I kind of grew up in or would traverse to and stuff like that. And so pinball was always kind of a big thing, but I didn't like digital pinball, like on the Android pinball.
Fair.
That wasn't like a thing that I really loved. So that would have really slowed me down on this one, even though I would have gone back just to play. Oh, I got to catch the Pharaoh.
Sure.
So
catch the Pharaoh?
Yeah.
What?
It was Sparrow, and then
I thought you said catch the Pharaoh. I'm like, what pinball machine was that?
Well, you don't remember Pharaoh, which is probably a Pokemon now because we now discovered there's 925 Pokemon. So now we have to go back into. Wouldn't that be scary though? Lavender Town, and you see the Pharaoh, and you're like, he's dead. It's a mummy.
It would be fucking scary to you. I'm not scared of Lavender Town.
Right, you're not. You're much tougher than I am.
I know that, Andrew.
Lavender Town's
I'm
terrifying.
happy you finally said it.
Lavender Town's terrifying. So I would have liked this because of the Pokemon elements, but I wouldn't have been crazy about the pinball elements. And unfortunately, this is a pinball game. So I unfortunately, I'm going to give this a lower score. I'm going to give it 2.5.
Okay. Yeah. So even back then, I get that. I probably would have agreed with you prior to playing this game as a kid. I mean, with the fact that digital pinball, I didn't love.
Oh, okay. All right.
But this game kind of sold me on it when I played it as a kid. And I did like Android pinball. Probably, I think I actually like digital pinball more than physical pinball. There's an anxiety that I would get playing physical pinball with the, like, physics is against you.
Yeah.
And I always feel like in a digital environment, I can kind of game the system a little bit or learn. So whatever it is, it feels like there's a little bit more of a protective net there. This game I fucking loved. I played it. I can't ever 100% a game.
Here we go. Well, say what you were going to say.
I said I can't ever 100% a game and not give it a very high score.
Right.
But I was wondering, have I ever 100%ed a game almost out of spite or obligation? And I don't think I have. I just don't think that's ever been a part of me.
Finishing games?
Yeah, I used to finish a lot of games.
Yeah, that's true. You're right.
I used to finish a lot of games. I used to be a contender.
You changed.
I did change. But no, I loved this game. I played the shit out of it. I had a lot of good memories playing it. You could have put Pokemon on anything and I would have consumed it. I would have found a way to like things that I didn't like if Pokemon were involved in it. Mm-hmm. If you put Pikachu's face on broccoli, I would have eaten that shit up.
Wow.
And as a result, I played a lot of this one, and in my mind, I loved it. This was a 3.5 out of 4 for me in the retro score.
Okay, I'm surprised you didn't give it a 4.
No, because once I 150, like I did feel a sense of like I just need to see this number go up, and that satisfaction of seeing 151. It wasn't like when I was playing Pokemon Red and every act of catching a Pokemon was a lot of fun. It was more like satisfaction over fun, even back then. But it was satisfying, more so than it is now, and we'll get into our current scores.
Okay, current score time. I'll start.
Okay. Sorry, what did you give it in the 2.5?
I gave 2.5.
2.5, yeah.
2.5, 3.5. That is going to be a 6 out of 8.
Yes.
Okay, so current scores. This wasn't a lot of fun. It is not technically broken. I totally understand CNET's arguments now a little bit. It is a little floaty. The physics don't really make sense. You have to totally understand that there's kind of like a little English on the ball a little bit.
Sure.
And so that part, I actually don't care. You know what I mean? As long as you're semi-consistent with your weirdness, I'm okay with that. But I think the splitting of the screen really slows it down, and just the small boards, I just didn't have a very fun time with this. And at the end of the day, this game is so limited, like you said, that it has to be fun because you're only doing the one thing.
Sure.
And if that thing is not fun, then what kind of game do we have?
Yeah.
So while I'm not going to give this like the lowest of low scores, but I just can't imagine ever going back to play this game in any way.
Yeah.
Oh God, I think I'm gonna give it a 1.
A 1?
Yeah, it was 1 or 1.5. I was thinking 1.5 the whole time, but you know what? Like, I can't imagine why. Why would I give it a 1.5? This game's not a lot of fun.
Yeah, I'm of two minds of this. One is, do I give it a slightly higher score because Pokemon are in it, therefore I'm always going to be naturally inclined to like it a bit more?
Interesting.
Or do I punish it for having the head start, for being born on third? You have the Pokemon license, and you haven't made something that you almost forget you're playing a Pokemon game 80% of the time you're playing this. And I think that when you are dealing with licenses of older games and replaying older games with licenses, I think the one thing you need to do is capture that sense of sentimentality more so than be fun. That's where you and I disagree. I think this game could have been a much higher score if it were just sentimental. If I were like, oh my God, I remember this. Oh my God, this. Oh my God, that. It turns out I barely fucking remembered anything about this game. Seeing the blue board, I barely remembered what that was all about. I forgot it looked like that. The red board looked like nothing from my memory. So clearly it didn't do enough as a game to stick in my sentimentality. And am I tapping into the retro score a little bit too much by saying that it didn't carry any of that weight when I played it today? Maybe, but I think you open yourself up to different forms of criticism when you do have the license and when you're leaning on sentimentality over mechanical satisfaction. And I think they dropped the ball quite a bit in this one. I'm also struggling between a 1 and a 1.5.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but I think I'm going to go 1.5 because I didn't dislike it.
Right.
It just wasn't fun.
Yeah.
There wasn't much to it. I didn't hate it, but I definitely didn't feel much otherwise towards it.
Perfect. So there you go. 1 and a 1.5. That's 2.5 for 8.5 out of 16. Yeah, okay. That's actually higher than I thought it'd be, to be perfectly honest, after playing that game a little bit.
Well, I think my retro score is doing a lot of the heavy lifting there.
Boy, is it.
Yes.
Yeah, but 8.5 out of 16 nonetheless. So that's a score. I don't know if we'd really recommend this game, but to find out if this game won any awards,
we got to make our way over to the freaking awards ceremony.
And you know who we're going to see there? Todd Snap.
Todd Snap. Let's go run into his arms and make our way to the red carpet.
Yeah. Take us to better times, Todd.
You've been waiting for it all year. The most glamorous awards ceremony of the week. Ladies and gentlemen, the Grady's.
Oh, wow. Beautiful. Okay. We love the sound of cameras.
We do.
And we love the sound of the orchestra warming up.
Yes.
And here we are. The second time in 6 weeks.
Yeah.
Because four of those weeks were Retrograde and we haven't been to the award ceremony, but here we are. We got Elliot coming over here.
What's up, Elliot?
He's dressed as a Pokemaniac, as he often is.
Yeah, 100%.
He's just got Pokeballs all over, like on a bandolier.
Yeah, weird.
Very weird.
Like a hand grenades. Yeah, like a hand grenades on a bandolier.
Yeah, but it's Pokeballs. And and I saw him walking over here. And Elliot, we've warned you about this before. You cannot, I know they're rare, but you cannot be offering candies to children. You just can't do it.
You can't.
You reach a certain age where you're not allowed.
Yeah.
And we're responsible for you in that way because I am your conservator.
You are?
No,
you have a conservatorship over Elliot?
I do. I do.
Boy,
because here's the thing.
What?
We're bleeding cash over here.
Really?
Yeah, and we have to pay him. But if I do, unfortunately.
Okay.
But if I'm in control of his funds, that just comes right back into our pocket.
Oh, I like it.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
After I take my commission. Being a conservator is not easy.
What do you have to pay for?
I don't have to pay for anything. It's my time that's worth a lot.
Oh, your time.
I have to, for example, take the money back from Elliot.
You just so you're taking your cut.
Yeah,
getting a taste.
But this is how the world works. If you, over the course of a transaction, the money passes through your hands.
Yeah,
legally you have to take a cut.
No, you're describing laundering money, I think.
I saw that one movie where Meryl Streep definitely didn't look like she was dressed up in makeup. And was
laundromat.
So surprised when it was her.
Yeah. The laundromat. This is now in the pantheon of movies that we describe where people go.
By the way, Doubt was brought up on Comedy Bang Bang last week.
Oh, wow.
After we always that's you're hitting on something good when the big boys talk about it.
Yeah, we always talk about Doubt on this podcast, and we asked, does anyone else listen? Does anyone care about our Doubt cast?
And apparently
a few people did, actually. A few people got back to us. They did say, like, oh no, that's a joke. I like that. It's an ongoing joke.
I love it.
So now it's gonna be Laundromat now from here.
That's it.
Laundromat Damon.
Andrew?
Yeah.
Leave the jokes to me.
Yeah,
in all occasions except that one.
Yeah,
because I like it.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
All right, so now we're about to find out what awards this game won. Elliot, why don't you reach into one of those Pokeballs? He's going to throw it, and then I think the awards are going to pop out.
That's good. I like
that's
that.
Good. All right, let's see what it goes.
That's great. Oh, the Pokeball let out a bunch of crickets?
Let out a bunch of crickets.
Weird.
That's weird. That means it didn't win any official awards.
Yeah.
But Elliot's tossing each of us a Pokeball. In that is awards for this one, which are always handed out in the event that it doesn't win one of the traditional awards.
Okay.
I've got mine at the ready.
Okay. Do you want to go?
Oh, sure. I
can go if you want.
I can go.
Okay, I can go. I'll go. Okay. So this is Sick to Your Gut Herbal. Oh, wow. No. Oh, that's good. Sick to Your Gut's not an expression. That's such a weird award to be giving out.
Strange award. And also there's no, this isn't a bowling game.
Well, gutter ball is, I think it's down the side. I think, well, I'm assuming for the award here.
Yeah. No, I mean, whoever
I assume down
the
sides is the gutters.
No, I mean, it's not. That's the thing.
So what is it called?
It's called the laneway.
The laneway?
Yeah.
It's called the laneway.
The laneway.
Okay. It's called the laneway.
It's called the laneway. So, sorry, what was the name of this award?
Sick to Your Gutter Ball.
Oh. How about the Stay in Your Laneway award?
Oh, that's interesting. Let me see if this is... No, it's... Sorry, there's an asterisk at the end. It says no punching up.
Oh.
Sorry, so it's just an award that...
that's good. I usually punch down anyway, so this...
So there you go. Sick to Your Gutter Ball.
Sick to Your Gutter Ball. Okay, I got one. It's the... here we go.
Oh, nice.
Wow. It's the Ghastly Award.
Oh, what does that mean?
Oh, there's a little asterisk. It says... definitely don't need to punch up because this works on 2 levels.
Okay.
Interesting.
What is it? Wow, that's telling us in advance. Okay,
ghastly because it's a ghastly game. That's one.
So that's one of the levels it works on? The literal level?
The first level.
The base level.
The second level.
I hope that award is thought about it.
Is because this is the ghost of a former great.
Oh, very good. Yeah, that's great. There you go.
Named Bon Vivant.
Bon Vivant. Yes. Bon Vivant. Good Pokemon name. Just portly, happy, angry gentleman. Okay, so we just played
Pokemon Pinball.
Pokemon Pinball.
Pokemon Pinball.
Pokemon Pinball.
Pokemon Pinball.
We played Pokemon Pinball.
Pokemon Pinball.
And we had a very mediocre at best time. Well, it got 8.5 out of 16, so I'm going to go with mediocre at best.
Yeah.
Situation with it. If you played that game and if you have any thoughts about that, you can get at us at Retrograde, Mikey at Retrograde, Andy at Retrograde Pod. But until then, We love every single one of you. And we can't wait to talk to you soon. My name's Andrew Bascom. With me, as always, is normal type Pokemon himself,
Mikey Aaronworth.
This is the Retrograde Podcast.
Game over.
You like that?
Tilt.
Tilt. Do you know what tilt means?
Yeah, it's if you try to move the machine, it locks you out.
So, but that's a real strategy in real pinball.
Yes.
And they've adapted that into the digital version.
Yes.
It is such a fundamental thing that you need to do.
No, that's
in
the thing.
real
You're
pinball.
not allowed to do it. That's why if the game senses that you're trying to move it, it locks you out.
Then why would they include in the digital version?
Bizarre.
It's probably the only thing wrong with this game.
Only one and only.
Furnished by Sad Styles Productions.
Kim Jong Drill's tail.